that process is always like so intoxicating and like such a to learn that like just like how chaotic and fraught and fast-paced and exciting, that world was.
We're heading into the final season of Mrs. Maisel. I'm curious what it's like for both of you, as everyone else is getting ready to enter this final chapter of your story.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like a fun and sad series of goodbyes. We had like the big final, goodbye on set, and now we kind of like being forced to rip off the Band-Aid and feel the feels all over again. But like what a special journey that like I think we're all very lucky to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. What was that final day on set like for both of you? I'm curious, both of your stories.
It was emotional, it was very exciting. I, for one, did not sleep a whole lot the night before because we had a lot of work to do. So I was up, studying lines quite a bit, and you want to get it just right because, man, there's no pushing after that last day. But then, slowly as the day progresses and you can feel it, we're getting closer to that last scene, and then you're closer to that last moment, and then that final shot, you can just feel that energy and that release wanting to come. And I just feel so fortunate to have joined the family at just the right time and been there for the big goodbye.
Yeah, absolutely. What about your last day?
Yeah, I mean, like, so special to get to be there. I'm like, 6 feet away from Reid and Rachel, and she's saying like the last word she's ever gonna say as the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and I'm like an eye line there for it, and I'm standing behind Amy, who's like watching the monitor, trying not to cry, and saying like, let's just do one more, not because we needed it, but because I think we all weren't ready yet to like give it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a very, very special experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know you can't let us know too much ahead of time. People got to tune in and watch. But, what can you tell us about how Mike and Gordon's stories are going to kind of enter into their final chapters as well?
It's fun because when we first sort of meet these guys, Mike is Gordon's talent booker. Mm-hmm. And they both go through these really incredible, very well-rounded journeys. They're both ambitious guys. I think they become closer over the course of the season. I think, they start to see that they really work. They're very simpatico. Mm-hmm. And they go from sort of being employer-employee to really raising up to more like partners by the end. And mm-hmm. That was the whole behind the scenes at the Gordon Ford show. That was the highlight for me for the season. It was a lot of fun to play.
Oh, that's awesome. And Jason, what about you? What are you looking forward to fans seeing the most as we kind of wrap up your story?
I mean, I've never got to play such like a psychopath before. So like that was like very fun. And I've also really not done a lot of comedy. And so I'm hoping that it's at least hopefully it's a little funny. But I mean, like getting to like I had just like never thought about how these late night talk shows function and how they work. It's just something that I, took for granted and just sort of like grew up with, and then to kind of like, that's what's so great about our jobs too. It's like we get like just kind of like dumped into these different worlds, and you have the opportunity to kind of like learn everything about them, everything that you can about them. And that process is always like so intoxicating and like such a to learn that like just like how chaotic and fraught and fast-paced and exciting that world was, and then to try and then like as it's very similar to what we do, but then you're like all funneling that energy to this one moment when the camera goes on and it has to be perfect, and more times than not it is, which is like it was a very fun process to go along with.
Yeah, absolutely.
To learn about.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, again, we can't know the ending yet, but I'm curious if both of you think that the fans are going to be satisfied with this ending, what you think their response is going to be.
What? Oh, they're going to love it. Everyone's going to love it.
Absolutely.
Good.
They're gonna, they're going to be upset that it's over, but
Yeah.
if you adhere to the whole adage of don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened, they're going to be very, very pleased. Very, very
This
pleased.
guy, he's just so good at
I'm like
this.
channeling my dad.
The perfect tease. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also curious if there was anything. I know, obviously, wrapping it up, fans are going to be satisfied. Is there anything that either of you wish we had gotten a little bit more time to dive into, or if there was like a spin-off of some sort that you would want to dive into with any of the characters?
I would live in this world for the next like 30 years of my career if I could.
Yeah.
It was so fun, and there's just so much to explore there.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world of late night television, the vaudevillian aspect of it, the live television aspect of it, the theater campiness of it, the business that they're running sort of behind the scenes. There's so much fodder there.
It's a whole show in itself.
It's a whole show in itself.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way we felt on set. I mean, we were very much, in our own little bubble, a show within a show. And we all got pretty close. It was really cool. And, we had this whole, richly filled out office with all the, the secretarial pool and all the PAs running around and a whole room of writers. And it was just, so immersive. It really dropped you in. And, it was hard to leave it at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and do you think that immersiveness is what translates to the audience and really brings them in so much? Because people really just are so captivated by the show.
Oh, the detail, it's second to none. Absolutely. Yeah. Every single piece of furniture and set dressing is cared for. It's cared about. It's done with thought and with purpose. Mm-hmm. And, you might not see it on camera, but the actors have experienced it when we're shooting it, and it comes through in the performance, and that's what I think the audience picks up on. And that is just a credit to the incredible crew that Amy and Dan have assembled since day one.
We also have some of the best background actors
Phenomenal.
in the business.
Phenomenal.
Just creating the environment for us. And, especially in the office, we had our little bullpens, and we were with the same people in our teams, and without them, the world is empty, and they were just rock stars, really good.
Yeah. Well, I am so sad that we're coming to an end, but I know it's going to be perfect. Is there any last message that you want to give to fans before they get to tune in and watch the first couple episodes?
Rachel Brosnahan is the greatest actor on the face of the earth. So tune in and hold on tight.
Yeah. Buckle up.
Reid's good too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm super excited for the last season. So thank you.